Hi guys, it's Eve here today, and if you know by the title of this video, you're probably knowing how happy I am. Literally supporting him through like going through from Vine and like YouTube to like where he is now is like crazy. I'm so happy. Like, okay, so on September 21st, 2015, I was able to actually have a conversation with Shawn, and okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys what happened. So like all over, it's because it makes me so happy. He makes me so happy, and like, okay. So first I want to thank my parents and my friend Whitney for coming with me. I can't. Basically what happened was I have a fan account for him. Yes, I have a fan account, okay? And it's on Twitter. I blocked like everyone from school because I didn't want them to judge me, but I'm like, I really don't care now. But basically, I'm an insider. An insider basically is when you're an insider for an update account is when they tell you where Shawn is or something, let's just say, or you ask them for like info, and then you go to that place and you have to like take pictures and show them like where you are. You just have to update them on like what Shawn's doing, what he, like, you know, just to give them pictures. They're just basically an update. And she's like, look, I know the time he'll be at Jimmy Fallon recording for tonight's episode, tomorrow's episode. I was like, oh my god, are you serious? And then I realized I had a half day. I'm like, oh, my dad could take me. Like, my mom or dad could take me. They could take me to see Shawn. Well, I didn't really ask them. She told me I can be like updating her, but I didn't have to because she was my friend. So basically, that was the plan. That's what was supposed to happen. I went to school the next day, the day of, and I was just like, you know what? I don't think he's gonna take me to Jimmy Fallon, and that's okay. You know, it's fine. I guess it just wasn't my time. Later on, I'm doing homework, but then I'm like, okay, let's think. Like, maybe I could get a ride from someone. I didn't just want to give up. I wanted to know that I gave my all to, like, trying to go see him, you know? I called my friend Morgan, and she, like, fortunately couldn't come, and then I called my friend Dina, but she was in school, so I couldn't. I called my friend Irini, and she couldn't either, but then, so I'm just upset. But then I get a DM from my friend Nat, who is also an update account, and she's like, look, Eva, can you go to the airport? And she's at the airport, and I was like, that literally is right, like, near me. She's like, you should go. I was like, how do you know that he's coming? And she's like, because doesn't it make sense? Like, so I didn't really ask my parents yet, and I was really scared because, like, I knew how they felt about the airport thing. They were like, oh, like, they never wanted me going to the airport. They thought that was weird. But basically, I went to my mom, and I was like, hey, Mom, look, like, I know it was your birthday yesterday and stuff, but, like, Shawn's going to the airport, and I have the info. Is it okay if I go? And she was like, who's gonna take you? I'm like, oh, I'll get a ride or something. And she's like, okay, go ask your dad. I'm like, okay, Dad, if I get a ride, well, if I get a ride or something to the airport, can I go? And he was like, yes. So I called my friend Whitney, because Whitney, like, I met her through Shawn, and I called her. I'm like, look, you want to go? Like, let's go. And she's like, okay. So, like, it was back and forth. We figured out that my dad was gonna drive us, and then her mom was gonna pick us up. So I picked up Whitney. I was like, I didn't know if he was coming for sure. This was like a guess. We were just like, let's go. Who cares if we don't? We get to eat. Okay, so we can eat away our problems. We were driving. There was a ton of traffic. And we didn't, like, we were trying not to think about it. My dad's trying to be positive. Like, he's like, look, you guys will meet him. We're like, no, we don't know. At the airport, my dad drops us off, and he goes, I love you. Like, go meet that boy. And me and Whitney are like, okay. We walk in. We're like, wait, where do we go? So there was no one at the airport besides me and Whitney. And basically, we just sat there in these seats. So he was flying back to Canada. And so we basically just sat where you would pick up your ticket. So we sat there, and everyone's like, oh my god, he's been spotted at Jimmy Fallon. So, like, we're panicking. We're like, what if he's not coming? Like, what if he's, like, what are we gonna do? Like, I call my friend Joy. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if he's gonna show up. And we're like having all these problems. I DM'd Nat, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening. Everyone's telling me different things. And I called Joy, and Joy's like, look, we'll figure this out. So then I get like a million texts. I got a text from Nat and Joy, because Joy and Nat were the only ones that knew that we were there. We're like freaking out. We're like, oh my god, what if he's not coming? What if he's not coming? And then I get a call. He's leaving. They're like, someone spotted him leaving. Now I'm like, oh my god, Whitney, we have to go get him something. Me and Whitney run down, like, and we go to this this little store, and we pick out something. And it was a little bear that said, I love, and then the state I live in. And we were gonna tell him, please promise you'll come back. So we got him a teddy bear, and we were on little notes like, have an amazing day, have a safe flight, get some rest, we love you. This is our ads. If you ever feel down, you can look at our DMs. We always try to send you positive things. And then we like said like hashtag Mendes positivity. I'm pretty sure that's all we wrote, really. We didn't want to write too much, he didn't want to read it. So we were like sitting there, and I turned, I'm like, oh my god. And we see Jeff, and it's kind of like stage management, not really, but I don't really know what you call Jeff, but Jeff's just like one of his staff. I guess you can call him staff. So I saw Jeff, and like my friend Whitney's like, I'm like, Whitney, we have to stop looking because then it's gonna look like we're fans. which we were. I saw Tom and then I saw John and I was like, okay, so Tom is like also like one of his like, you know, you feel me, like the staff, and then John, he's a bodyguard, he's like, ooh, like, he's like really fit. I mean, like if I was that fit, like honestly, goals. So I saw them and I'm like, oh my god, Whitney, because like she just saw Jeff. Like, okay, so this is us, right? And then pretend a mirror's back behind you and you just see Jeff standing here, and like you see Whitney
right there. Don't make a mess. Oh my god,
Chester. The video here. And then I get up dancing. I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I didn't think anyone could see me. I hope these windows were not clear. So then I see John. I'm like, oh my god, Whitney, he's here. And like I panicked. I'm like, I'm not talking. And basically, I don't want to put the video because I kind of want something personal to me, because this is the longest time I've ever had with him, and he really did change my life, and he means the world to me. And like, I want to have something that when I'm sad that not everyone knows, you know, like a little piece of something of like the person that made me who I am today, you know? Then Shawn comes in and I wave, hi Shawn. Well, no, before he came in, like I saw John walk and I was like, it was just like, we didn't think he was coming, and boom, he's here. He comes in and Whitney's just smiling and I'm like, what? So I'm like, I saw him, I'm like, hi Shawn, and he's like, hi, and then I'm like, are we I feel bad. I got really sad because like I didn't want to bother him because he looked so tired. And then Whitney was like, can we get pictures? And like he's like, of course. He said, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad. And I get up and I hugged him. He's like, hi. Wait, why? How are you? I was like, and then like I was saying comment. I was like, oh my god, I don't know. Hi. And then I didn't know. He said, how are you? I feel really bad. So then I hugged him and I'm like, oh, are you okay? I asked him, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, are you sure? And then he's like, yeah. I'm like, you kind of look sad. He goes, no, I'm just really exhausted. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then, so then he was like he looked at me like he was ready to take a picture. And then I was like, oh, you want to hold it? And he was like, sure. So like when we're about to take the picture, Whitney goes, oh yeah, we met you before. And I'm like, and he's like, cool. And then I take the picture, and then he did like this thing where like when you're filming the video, you can tap on it and take screenshots. Like,
oh wow, you knew that? I didn't. Okay.
And I was like, oh, you could do that? Oh my god, I did not know that. And he's like, he like laughed to himself. He's like, yeah. And then him and Whitney like hugged and they took their picture. It was so cute. And then she's like, oh, we got you this bear. And he was like, oh, thank you. And then I'm like, oh yeah, here are notes. We wrote like little notes if you want to look at them. I don't know if you do. And then I gave it to him. And then he's like, oh, thank you guys so much. And I hugged him and I'm like, thank you, I love you. And then he was like, thank you ladies. And I can't. Thank you, ladies. And he's like, I love you guys. And I whispered, love you. And then he hugged Whitney and stuff. And then I was like, he was like about to leave, and I was like, have
a good trip. Yeah. Oh god.
I'll like insert.
I hate myself. I really hate myself.
So he's like, you don't hear in the video, but he goes, oh, chirp, I got it. And he starts laughing, and then it was just me and Whitney who met him at like the airport. No one else was there, and Whitney like walked away so he wouldn't hear us, and I'm like, I was like crying, but I was like, I was just screaming like, thank you. Like I'm like screaming, and I'm pretty sure he could hear me because he was like at the desk to get his tickets for like about 10 minutes because like something was wrong, and like I saw Shawn going like this, like you could just tell how tired he was, and I felt so bad. Like I wanted to ask him if he wanted coffee because like I had money, but like I felt like I would be bothering him, so I was just like, but then I was on the phone with Joy, and I'm like, look Joy, I just met him, and I'm freaking out. She's like, wait, what? Did you meet him? I was like, oh my god, I don't even know. And she was like, okay, wait, can you post the pictures? I'm like, I don't know, because like I didn't know if he didn't want me to post it. So I was like, okay, I just won't. I don't know. I'll just go ask him. So I walk up to him like, Shawn, and he's like, he turns around and he's like, yeah. I'm like, are we allowed to post these like pictures, or like don't put them on Twitter or anything? Like it's okay, we don't have to. We can just keep them private. And he was like, oh no, you can. It's don't worry. I'll be out in like a few minutes, so it's fine. And I was like, okay, thank you so much. And then he just smiled, and then he went back to going like this and thing. And I just like, you know. And so that is my Shawn Mendes experience. I don't know how to explain it. It meant the world to me. He's the reason I'm incredibly happy most of the time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for hearing me like talk fast and freak out. Bye.